Hey, everybody, it's been a minute. But that's because my hero has been on break for a while. They had Golden Week in Japan, and my hero was on break. So, um, a lot of things happened, and we had to wait a pretty long time to see what happened next. But this chapter is considered officially the conclusion of Todoroki versus Dabi, and a lot of interesting things go down. We get a new ultimate move from Shoto Todoroki that sounds pretty badass, if I'm not gonna lie. Um, as always, join the My Hero official Discord to check these spoilers out. That's where I get them. We will go ahead and dive into the spoilers here because I know all y'all got busy things to do. If that makes any sense. So this entire chapter focuses on Dabi and Todoroki. A lot of people were speculating they wanted some Ochako and Toga stuff, but it looks like we will continue to focus on Dabi and Todoroki for the moment. I believe their fight is over in this chapter. So we begin with a flashback of the students in the school dorms the night before the war started. Deku is questioning whether Shoto will actually fight his brother, and he says it is his duty because he's not so sure whether Endeavor will keep his word, and Dabi is a reflection of the Todoroki family's sins. He then shows the special technique he developed and makes his chest light up. I don't know what that means. Makes his chest light up sounds like some Iron Man shit. Obviously, he doesn't actually do that, but making his chest light up sounds kind of cool. I'm going to be interested to see what that looks like visually. Deku remembers the training he was doing, and Kaminari starts poking it, saying that it doesn't burn even if he touches it, but it's hard for Shoto to keep focusing. Shoto then explains that it consists of applying the properties of Flashfire Fist to both sides of his body simultaneously using the heart as the center, making the hot and cold blood circulate throughout his body and come into balance. Midoriya says it's like a cold fire, and Shoto begins to get lost in thought, saying that his father wanted a perfect son who could use ice to reduce the heat in his body. But in fact, he is walking a path in the opposite direction. He himself has found a meaning to his existence, and because of this, he smiles at Deku. That is my power, thank you. We cut to the present with Shoto using another attack, the freezing blow, white blade of frosty fire. He says that this way maybe Dabi can cool his head a little. That's not what the ultimate's called, by the way. It's just another attack. However, this explanation right here, where it says it consists of applying the properties of Flashfire Fist to both sides of his body, using the heart as the center, sounds pretty badass. Not gonna lie, I mean Todoroki's always had a pretty lit quirk, if I would say so myself. But that's pretty sick. But it also looks like he's had this attack in the works recently. And I also do think if I were Todoroki, I wouldn't trust Endeavor either, considering how this man was shook when he first figured out that Toei was still alive. Anyway, let's keep going. Dabi is thrown backwards by the impact, but shoots pillars of flame from his hands to balance himself up. We're back in the present, by the way. Dabi shoots pillars of flame from his hands to balance himself up. You know what this reminds me of? Do you remember in Avatar: The Last Airbender when Azula would do the fucking fire from her hands or her feet to like propel herself around? That's what that reminds me of. And since Dabi has blue flames, it even reminds me more of her in that way, how he could like fly and shit using the fire. It looks really funny, but it's pretty fucking sick when you see them doing it. So Dabi analyzes the situation, seeing that Shoto has a body strong enough to withstand the heat of his flash fire and produce ice cold enough to overpower his flames. That's pretty sick. How Shoto has a body that is strong enough to withstand the full heat of Dabi's like flames, which is pretty fucking hot, if I say myself. And he has a body that can produce enough cold ice that it overpowers Dabi's flames. What that means is Dabi is washed. Okay, Dabi's washed because Shoto just sounds like Dabi, but he's better in every way. All right, Dabi's getting hard countered right now, and he's too stubborn to switch strategies. Okay, Dabi's gonna get hard countered by a dude who has, more hot than Dabi, but also more cold than Dabi, which is pretty unfortunate for Dabi. But what are you gonna do? Dabi doesn't stop for a second and already starts directing all the heat towards the ground. Shoto realizes that he has lost focus, only to prepare his attack again, but a huge pillar of flames emerge from the ground. Dabi shouts that it is not possible to change the tracks of your life, and that they represent the limit of superhuman society. The two are destined to follow similar paths. And this is just another anime. I don't want to say trope, but it's a lot of anime does this, right? Both the hero and the villain have opposite ideals, and then whoever comes out on top. Obviously, it is possible to change the tracks of your life, but Dabi doesn't know that yet. So let's wait till he figures it out. The flames start to bend, and we see that the three sidekicks are covered in wounds, but doing their best to alleviate the situation. They say they agree with everything Shoto said and fall to the ground, causing him to apologize and for Burning to repeat what he said earlier. That thanking or apologizing is a waste of energy. Even so, he shouts, "Thank you so much." We then see a sequence inside Shoto's head with him saying that he always thought he was a lonely existence because of his blood and his past. But after a while, he realized that wasn't the case, that everyone was much closer than he imagined. We then see a panel of many of the students facing him and many moments they experienced together as Shoto concentrates all his power and remembers Mount Lady's advice during the interview training. So Shoto now has a reason to exist. Obviously, this is the big arc that he went through, and this is the culmination of his arc and his trauma with his family. He is now about to prepare the ultimate move, so to speak. He's about to go Super Saiyan in a sense, and he propels himself forward and stops right next to Dabi, saying that it is possible to change the course of your life, no matter how difficult it may be. He then says, "Please stop." The next page is a huge sphere of light. Shoto's new technique, which it is called, drumroll please, I'm kidding, no drumroll. It is called the Great Frozen Tidal Bore. That is a bit of a mouthful, but it sounds pretty sick. Now listen to the way it's described, okay? It is strong enough to freeze all the buildings and trees in the vicinity. On the last page, we see two panels showing Shoto and Toya as a child, both crying, while in the present, the two are motionless. End of chapter. That's the way the chapter ends. I've seen this panel on Twitter. Shoto and Dabi are basically side by side. They are not moving. It's the aftermath of the Great Frozen Tidal Bore. I don't know if they're frozen or not. I don't think they are. But Shoto has frozen everything around him, pretty much. The trees, the street, pretty much what he did in Heroes Rising, but better. And that's where the chapter ends. So, we don't know if Dabi's been defeated or not. I'm assuming he has been because Shoto froze the entire city around him, which probably ended up stopping Dabi's flames. So, Dabi's been defeated. I'm assuming he might have more in the tank. I still think one last twist is coming for Dabi, potentially. I don't see his story ending here, but maybe it will. Who knows? But that's going to be the end of the chapter. Let me know what you think of the Great Frozen Tidal Bore. It sounds like a natural disaster in a way. And in a way, it can be. But I'm excited to see this attack like in panel, visually, other than just seeing the name and knowing what it does.